What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Dr. Joy Show, and I am your host, Dr. Joy. It's the Dr. Joy Show, your prescription for total wellness, and I'm your host, Dr. Joy. So, today we're going to talk about transforming places into happy spaces. And yet, no, not just me. I have a guest. But before we get started, you know what we're going to do on the Dr. Joy Show? We're going to take it down with 3 deep breaths. Are you ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Are you calm and relaxed? I know I am. I'm going to get right to it. If you have any architectural needs of transforming your space into a better place, I have the guy for you. Welcome to the Dr. Joy Show, Reginald Thomas. May I call you Reggie?
Please do.
Okay. So, let me just talk a little bit about you for my viewers. His work spans New York, New Jersey, and Reginald L. Thomas has garnered over 20 years experience working with a diverse group of distinguished architectural design firms in New York City. He's all over. I'll just say that. So we're going to jump right into it. So when and why did you decide to become an architect? I think I know that answer because you were on the Joy of Living show, but I want my viewers to know.
Well, I've always wanted to be an architect. My first designs were done, I was in 6th grade. And the only references I had were television shows of the time, like the Brady Bunch or some other architectural type show. Mm-hmm. So I've wanted to be an architect since then. Besides, my father said I couldn't be an artist.
Why did he say you couldn't be an artist?
He said artists don't get their money till they're dead. So he wanted me to earn a living before it was too late.
Well, that's clearly not happening in your case because you are doing quite well for yourself.
Thank you.
So continue on with your story. What does architecture mean to you?
Oh, architecture is life. It is the 3D manifestation of everything that the human being has been able to believe in and accomplished in the last 2,500 years. It is our personal expression of who we are and what we think and what we believe in. For a short answer.
That's your short answer. Okay, so this has been your dream since 6th grade, right?
Absolutely.
And I know we're going to get into some before and afters, but we're going to make the viewers wait.
Not a problem.
All right. But let's talk about some of the challenges. How many architects are there? I mean, there's a plethora of them out there, but the process to get there is pretty hard, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, you want to share?
It's 5 years undergrad now and 2 years grad in order to earn a Master's of Architecture in most schools. And then with the master's, that allows you to sort of shorten your internship. It's 3 years after that you've been able to sit for the exam to become a licensed architect. Yeah. During my day, it was, besides all of those prerequisites, it was it's a 12-section exam, one of which takes 12 hours to do. Yeah, the last most important part, which is designing a building as a charrette.
You see my face?
Yes, I see your face.
So you had 12 sections?
Yes. It was 9 sections really, but I had 12 hours to do one section. Yeah. 12 hours.
I'm doing the math.
You're doing the math?
I'm doing the math. It's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Okay,
it's
but now
it's over a week. It's over a week.
It's over a week time. Exam, yeah. So and now because I know I have some viewers that have children, yes, that want to broach into this arena. So what is you have any advice for them?
Well, absolutely. You know, the advantage that I had were twofolds. One, if you know you want to be an architect, you can start early. You've already started. You're already ahead of the game. So you know what you want to do because it takes an incredible amount of dedication. Mm-hmm. There are several books that if afterwards I would recommend that as a young architect you read these books and you'll be even further ahead of the game. And then internships, very important.
How hard are they
To get now?
to get?
They're always challenging. But there are a lot of big firms now. The economy's doing well. So while they may be challenging, they're more readily available. And look, you're working for the summer. If you're able to get a paid or unpaid internship, just get the experience. It'll help you in school, and it'll help you have the experience on your resume. So when you come out, you'll be able to get a job very quickly.
All right, so now let's talk about some challenges that you had to try to achieve your dream.
Oh wow, there are as my previous statement, there were not many references for people who looked like me in terms of architecture.
Let's just say it, people of color.
People of color.
Why are we mincing words here? It is what it is.
There was one, Paul Williams, and I had the good fortune during college to have two mentors. I went to a historically black college. One was Richard Dozier, who, as I've mentioned before, nobody actually knows how old this man is, since he's taught everyone and assisted everyone in the field. We have no idea how old Richard Dozier is. He's an amazing man. He was and he is my mentor. And the late Max Bond, who had a firm in New York called Bond Ryder James. I had the fortune of working with him for many years, doing the exact thing, internships, which helped me in college and during my instruction, and helped me afterwards with jobs. Also helped me over the Christmas break.
Oh, so you work Christmas break too?
I worked as often as I could.
So,
yes.
Architecture, art, construction, all go hand in hand?
Absolutely. There was a time when they were one and the same. An architect, otherwise known as a master builder, did all the things that have now been separated. Interior design, furniture design, construction. I sort of modeled my firm on that old mentality. Basically, as an architect, you should be able to do all of those things. The better you're able to do those things, including landscape architecture, the better your spaces will be, tied to urban fabric, tied to the human being. One of my favorite books is called The Pattern Language, and it takes it from a regional perspective down to the tiles on your table. That's an amazing book by Alexander.
What?
Yeah, and required reading, actually, for someone who wants to be an architect.
Say the name again?
A Pattern Language.
A Pattern Language.
Yes.
Okay, so any memorable clients or project highlights?
Oh, I have many. I have many. I'll say that working with Max Bond on the Schomburg Library was one of the...
You on that project?
I was yes.
Get out of here.
As an intern.
The Schomburg Library in Harlem?
That's correct, yes. I was...
on 100, what is it, 130? What?
Yes, next to Lenox Terrace, yes. And you know what the cool thing about that was? My godmother lived across the street. So all my young life, I watched that building from her terrace. And we would visit there every time we'd go. So it was sort of, it's ironic that I would become an architect and end up working on that project as the new addition. Yeah,
That's an iconic building in Harlem, Reggie. See, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. I did say that he was world famous. Now you know. All right, so, wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
But now, can we take it down from those iconic spaces to a person's home?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For me, there is no, maybe people will say this, there's no difference.
There's no difference?
No, there's no difference. The importance of, and that's because what I consider one of the most important items of that whole equation is called a cultural layer. And that basically a layer where you begin to really understand who your client is, where they come from, what their background is. So you ask questions of how do you enjoy your space? How do you worship? What is your daily lifestyle? What is the heart of the house to you? And from that, you develop a program that speaks to whether you're going to have 2 sinks in a home, whether you're going to have a prayer space, how to orientate a house, especially if you're talking about new construction.
Feng shui?
Feng shui, yes, feng shui.
You include that.
I do. Yes, if a client asks for that, absolutely, very important.
So I see you have pictures here. I want to jump right into it. Before and afters?
Before and after of some of the spaces.
So may I?
Please do.
Okay, so this is a before.
This is a before.
What is it?
This is a kitchen, soon to be a kitchen. The tile work is La Famiglia dei Fiori, or white tile. That's
Let's
more of a
hold it up
building
so yeah, they can see
based
it.
on
Just
that
that's
building,
good.
La Famiglia dei Fiori, which is a building in Italy. But the marble is a sort of beige, and what's inlaid tile is a little terrazzo tile. You can't really see it from the photo,
Right.
but this is what you begin to envision once you have my drawings, and contractors begin to demolish and rebuild.
Oh, so you gonna tear up my kitchen?
I am, if you'd like me to, but it's the after that's more important.
All right, let me see the after.
Okay.
Whoa!
And this is
All
the
right, we
after.
can put the before down. Wow. Wow, Reggie. How long did it take you to do this?
Well, the entire project, it was 8 months from beginning to end. And that includes permits and that type of thing. But I had very good contractors who worked very hard, and the drawings have to be heavily detailed, obviously, for them to
Yeah.
be able to ask as few questions as possible, but also for me to actually have the answers for them.
So you have to go through an assessment process to find out really what your client's all about, their likes, dislikes,
Absolutely,
everything.
that's right. I even take my clients to every showplace that needs to be, tile, appliances, yes, everything.
What if they
Bathroom
don't want to
fixture.
go though?
If they trust me, I will come back with pictures.
Oh, okay, that's
yes,
good.
that it is a level of trust.
Okay.
I usually come to, but they'll see what I'm going to get. So even if they don't come with me, I do all the specifications with catalog cuts, what they call catalog cuts, and basically you see every piece of furniture, you get a sample of every piece of tile that goes into your house, along with, for your approval.
Wow.
So you do that, yeah.
Wow. So what matters most to you in design?
That my clients are happy.
That you're transforming their
space
into a happy place.
and a timeless place. Meaning
Timeless? What do you
timeless
mean?
meaning I don't want you to necessarily have the idea that 10 years from now this is not a space that you would want. I want you to actually look at this space that I'm designing, and I want to grow on you as the years go, so that even after 10 years you're going, this is a beautiful space.
And they're still in love with
And
the
they're
space.
still in love with the space. Yes, absolutely.
And they will refer you out to all of their friends.
That's my hope. I tell most of my clients, I don't mind you calling me, but I hope it's for dinner. I hope it's so call me throughout your life, but I would like you to call me for dinner 10 years from now.
Of course. So what do we have here?
This was a pantry that goes to that kitchen we just looked at. This is one of the contractors working on the floorboards for that particular space. And as you can see, it was very rough, very intricate work. Only one guy could work in there at a time.
Why is that?
Because the place is very small.
Okay.
So the question then is, how do you make a small space look large? Right?
Yeah, well, that's a good
room it.
question. I'll pay you later.
Okay.
How do you do that?
It was, I'll put it this way. I used the tricks of an architect named Sohn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, then that we can't talk about those tricks.
This-
So, wait a minute, Reggie. Hold on a second. That's the after?
This is the after of that space.
The viewers, y'all see this? Okay, so wait a minute. This is the before. And this is the after. That looks like a teeny tiny space.
Then, well, do you see where these cabinets are?
Yes.
They're right behind this gentleman, along this wall right here.
Okay. All right, I got it. And I presume that your client was ecstatic with the final product.
And she still is.
And she
Yeah.
still is. How long ago was this?
This is not too long ago. This is maybe 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, so who's your favorite architect?
Wow. I have a few. One of them is Paul Williams, obviously. I mentioned it before. Frank Lloyd Wright, despite many controversial issues, is still one of my favorites. I still, there are quite a few that I admire. Lorenzo Piano, some decorators named Adler, some modern people like Juan Paulo Maldonado, I still love these types of designers.
And
even Peter Marino, fantastic work.
And you take from these folks,
Absolutely,
and incorporate them into your design.
you learn from the masters.
You learn from the masters.
Yes.
I want to read a fact here. According to Merriam-Webster, architects work in the construction industry, designing new buildings, restoring and conserving old buildings, and developing new ways of using existing buildings. Obviously, you've
Yes.
done that.
Yes.
They are involved in construction projects from the earliest stages right through to completion, preparing and presenting design proposals to clients. So, how do you, specifically, Reginald L. Thomas, AIA, transform spaces into happy places? What is your process? And that's part one. And then part two is, how do you use technology to do that?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't think I was going to come out with a good question?
No, that
come
was, that
on.
was, I knew it was going to be a good question. I didn't know it was going to be
Two-part.
two-part.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. So, if it depends on what I'm doing. Okay. As you know, I'm also a developer. So, there are, I take old places in historic spaces and basically take their old bones and reinvent them so that they appeal to the modern buyer. That's one area where I'm the actual client. I know what it's supposed to look like. I replace, old, and part of program, old fixtures and breathing apparatuses, which we call plumbing and electrical, and then make it modern so that when I'm dealing with a client, though, there's an extensive programming process where I ask a lot of questions. I take them a lot of places so that we come down to what it's supposed to be. And then, like I said, there's no small projects. I use plans and three-dimensional drawings. This speaks to technology. 3D printing, programs like SketchUp, building information modeling, which is all 3T types of software. And now I'm able to have you put on a pair of glasses and have you walk through your space the way that
in a virtual sense?
In a virtual sense.
What?
The way that we've always imagined, sort of Star Trek-like. Now it's very easy to do. It's so that you can see everything and be a part of all those decisions that, although you trust me, I would expect you to also approve despite my magnificent drawing. So this is why 3D modeling is great, because now it allows you to actually have a tactile sense. You get to hold onto your building, see what it looks like, and it doesn't take that long for you to understand what it is I'm trying to explain or draw.
So you, as an architect too, you have a lot of patience, I take it.
Of course. Oh yes. Oh yes. Many a night has been spent.
Well, what does keep you up at night with regards to
with the details, the devil's in the details? Oh my. You'll be up all night thinking about, what does that corner of a room actually meet the ceiling appropriately? Is that wall straight? Did the contractor, and myself being a licensed contractor as well, does that meet the standards of what I would want to do? And is it also being safe for my client? Are they going to be happy in the end?
Because you have to deal with, when you say safe, you also have to contend with the building codes and the inspections.
Absolutely.
Because those folks, the inspectors, can be a bit of, they can be prickly.
Just excellent word. They can be a bit prickly.
They can be prickly.
But we have to understand that, well, this is how I get along with them. They're there for life safety. They're there as a double check for me, although, you want to make sure that you're listening, you've done all your homework by then.
Right.
And by doing that and understanding that that's their job, you make it less prickly. It's a team. You want to make it all teamwork, make it all value as teamwork. And I've usually had no problem with it, even the toughest of inspectors. And I've had some tough ones.
Real prickly.
Yeah, real prickly.
Okay.
Especially when you start innovating.
Right.
Something they're not used to.
So the one thing, because you're an architect, you're a contractor, one thing that personally bothers me, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers will say, yeah, it bothers me too, is that when a contractor is hired
Yes.
to do a project,
Yes.
and they tell you that it's going to take X number of weeks, months, whatever, and they start,
Yes.
and then they go away,
Well,
and then they come back, and then they go away, and they come back. Does your firm do that?
no, we don't do that.
Okay, that's
No,
good
we don't.
because
We don't
that
do
is so annoying that I have my steps ripped up, and you said you were coming back on Wednesday, and now it's Saturday, and you're not back. What? I just want my stuff done. So I'm sure everybody can
Yes.
resonate with that.
Yes, yes, we don't do that. No.
So you give a real timeline,
A real
and you
timeline.
and you stick to
And you
it.
have proper foremen and you have proper workmen, and you again satisfy your customer.
So we have a couple of more minutes. Can we do some more?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what is this?
This is the entrance hall to that one building, one home. This was an apartment in New York, and
I'll hold that.
this
That's
is
a before,
This
right?
is before. Basically, this is the foyer entrance into the living room at the end of this hall. You reverse the stairs to go to the living spaces.
Wait, you said reverse the stairs?
Traverse.
Oh, traverse,
Yeah,
okay.
traverse the stairs to go to the living room space. I mean, to go to the living spaces, the bedrooms, 3 bedrooms upstairs.
All right, so I just want to get it. Okay, so that looks like a pretty decent size, but I had the privilege of seeing what the after looks like, and I'll show it to the viewers now. Okay, no, that's not the same space.
Oh, yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That can't be the same
This
space.
is the same space. With
So did you
overjoy.
create this transom
I
too?
did.
So this is another architectural trick in making a small space look big?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Or bring it to scale. Sometimes there's, scale is very important. You don't want a space to be too big or too small. You want it to be perfect. And the only way your client knows that, you as an architect, is when you walk in and you feel comfortable.
Oh.
If you've been in a space that's too cold or too warm, it's probably either not correctly ventilated and so on and so forth. You only notice when it's wrong, or the proportions are all wrong. So psychologically, it's not attuning to the human being. A place that's too big, even though it's heated properly,
Right.
will always seem cold. Anyway, those little tricks. Proportion.
Proportion. Well, let's do this last one here. Okay, so that's the after.
Now, this is in progress. This one's in progress. These are actually, these gentlemen are building the overdoors that you mentioned. All right?
Uh-huh.
So this is a totally blank space, and I have another one that's
Is this
more
in New
running.
York, right?
This is in New York. This is
Okay.
in New York. And I've, as you said, New York, New Jersey,
You travel.
Pennsylvania, wherever.
Worldwide.
Yes, I've
Yeah, I know
had
you-
the advantage of going many, many places.
Right.
And so this is how it's done. It's done in a millwork shop, and you actually talk to them about every little detail. It is actually pre-fitted, and then they'll come to the site and actually install it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They're not building it on site.
No, they're usually not when you deal with this level of detail. They will come and install it on site, but they build it off site.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And what do we have here?
And this
That's-
is
Oh my goodness. Oh my. So what are these doors here, Reggie? What is that?
well. These were actually they were in this particular case they were French polished mahogany doors, where I actually built them from scratch. They're the reason the great thing about these doors is that one pattern you see on the front is different on the back. So the proportions for this door fit the living room, and and they're pocketed doors as well.
I love pocket doors.
So on the opposite side, this is a different pattern
Really?
Yeah.
And it's what the client wanted.
and what the client wanted.
And how long did it take you and your team to do this?
It still took we all did this when the requisite 8 months that was requested by the client. These are clients who entertain a lot.
Yes.
So they want their
They're the Madison Avenue client.
yes, they want their
Okay.
projects done, and as we all do. You mentioned stairs.
Like I
you mentioned,
said.
we design around our holidays. We want items done by Christmas and Thanksgiving and those things.
Well, that's okay. Since you brought that up, if a client wants something done by Christmas, when should they contact you to ensure that it's done by Christmas?
You should know in 6 months, half year.
Okay.
How it done. And
So
that's-
anybody that wants to book Reggie 6 months, just allow 6 months if you want your stuff done by Christmas. That's all I'm saying.
And we could do it quicker. It's just that you have to allow for construction time and the building permits.
Okay.
Okay.
And since this is inside, we don't have to deal with weather conditions
we don't.
outside. So what do you hope to achieve over the next 2 years or 5 years?
Oh.
2 years and then 5 years. I know I have loaded questions.
I'd like to grow my firm, obviously, do more interesting projects, meet more interesting people. That's keep going. I always said, one of my mentors said, don't ever tell anyone this. He said, you want to do this for the rest of your life and sort of go out on your shield, which would be your trestle board. And I said, yeah, I would. He said, don't tell anybody.
Why? Why did he say that?
He said, because they're going to work you to death.
Oh, okay. So, but you have the choice though to say no.
True, but I don't think there's anything else I would rather do.
I hear you, because this is your passion.
Yes.
And it's a
Yes,
lovely thing.
Thanks.
So now, where can my viewers reach you?
You can reach me at 908-412-8373 anytime day or night. You can also write me at Reginald L. Thomas at rltarch.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible, if not right away.
So you have clients in New York and New Jersey currently,
Yes, I do.
but I need some work done. So can you kind of hook me up a little bit?
Of course.
Okay,
Of course. Just say when.
I'll say when. I'll talk to the king of the house and find out when we can get you in.
I will be
And,
there
and
as
our
soon as
projects are
possible.
small, by the way.
There are no small projects.
There are no small
No.
projects. Well, yeah, okay. Well, you'll see. You'll see.
Everything. It takes care, time, and attention, and that's what we do.
Okay. Well, thank you for being a guest on the Dr. Joy Show and talking about transforming spaces into happy places.
Thank you for having me.
And I wish you much success in your future.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you want to transform your space into a happy place? You contact my guest that was here today. Until next time, be blessed, stay healthy. See ya!